guys, welcome back to Sweet Magnolias. I'm so glad you decided to join me for another video. Today's video we are going to do on how to keep a tidy home. And the title of this video was going to be how to always have a tidy home, but if we're honest, who has a tidy home all the time? Nobody. Nobody's house is clean 100% of the time, but these are just some tips to help you to make your mental health better when it comes to the cleanliness and the tidiness of your home. So let's just get on into my tips for this. So my biggest tip for keeping your home neat and tidy is to have a focus area. So your most highly trafficked areas in your home are the areas that you should concentrate on keeping clean every single day. For me, that is my living room, my kitchen, and my bathroom, because our back door is in our kitchen, our front door is in our living room. So when people come into our home, they're going to come in through one of those two places. So I try to keep those places as tidy and clean as possible. So I try to do the dishes as I go, or at least try to do them every night before I go to bed. Sometimes I mess up on this because life happens, but I try to keep the sink empty of dishes as much as I can. I try to make sure that in my home personally, because I am a minimalist, I do not have appliances sitting on my countertops. I recently moved my coffee pot. I don't have my coffee pot on the counter anymore. I don't use my coffee pot right now. I use a French press. So I have a basket with a French press and a coffee canister, and that is what I use. And then I have a couple of succulent plants on either side of my sink, and then I have a fruit basket, and that's it. I don't have coffee pot, I don't have mixer, I don't have food processor, none of that is on my countertops. All of it is stored away in a cabinet. I know some people have limited space when it comes to your cabinet, but I try to make room because I am a minimalist. I declutter, so I have made room for those appliances so they do not have to sit on the countertop. For my living room, I try to make sure that I don't have any clutter in that particular room. I only keep the things there that are useful in a living room, so blankets, pillows. I have a couple of baskets, so if you have storage, like if you have kids and they have toys that they keep in the living room, baskets are really key to hiding that. If you can get a basket and put it like beside the couch. I'm going to insert some clips of the way I've organized my living room later on in this video, but for my dog, I keep her toys in a little basket and they're kind of hidden. Speaking of my dog, here she is. She has to be in every video with me for some reason. But I try to keep her toys in a little basket so that they are out of the way and they're hidden kind of between where the couches go, so you don't really see it. I also have a basket that I have computer cord and some yarn craft projects in, and nobody would notice because it's a pretty basket, so nobody knows that that's what's in the basket, and it hides it really well. My nose itches. Why does your nose itch only when you try to film? I don't understand. Alright girl, you gotta get down. This seat is too small for the two of us. Okay, so in the bathroom, I try to make sure that I keep the sink clear, that I keep the toilet clean, that I try to keep the trash down and not let the trash can get overfilled, but sometimes, you know, life just happens, guys. When you're home and it's just you and your husband or you and your family, then you're not as concerned about it. But one time that we're all concerned about it is when we have company come over. So I try to make things as easy as possible for me by focusing on those 3 highly trafficked areas in my home. My second tip, which is something I've already hit on, is to keep the space simple. So I am a minimalist, like I said. I declutter on a regular basis, which I think whether you're a minimalist or whether you're not a whether you're a minimalist or not a minimalist, you should try to declutter regularly. And what I mean by declutter regularly is every month you should go through your home and declutter something. So if you have a closet that is getting out of control, you need to go through and declutter that and see what you can get rid of. If you have a basket in your living room full of kids' toys and they have not played with them in 6 months, you need to go through that and declutter it. So I try to declutter my house on a regular basis just so that things don't get out of control and then I get overwhelmed. And that helps me keep my spaces. So another thing is to keep your tabletops clear. I know that it can be really easy to just junk everything on the kitchen table, or you have 1,000 different knickknacks and ornaments on your coffee table. I personally try to keep my coffee table very clean. I have one basket and it has one coaster and one candle in it, and that is how I keep my coffee table. My kitchen table, I used to not have anything hardly on it. Now I have 2 candlesticks. I do have a lace tablecloth, and I have some flowers. That's just the phase I'm in. It's kind of like Valentine's Day decor because it's kind of romantic, but for the most part, try to keep your surfaces very clear because that's going to limit your time in your tidy up process. My third tip is to have systems in your home. So systems like doing the dishes as you cook, or you have a 30-minute cleanup routine before you go to bed. Having systems will really help your household run smoother as far as keeping it tidy and keeping it organized. If you have those systems in place, it will help you tremendously. Another thing you can look into doing is having a cleaning schedule. I did this back at the beginning of our marriage, but to be honest, I haven't stuck to it like I should have. But the things that have helped me is focusing on my highly trafficked areas versus a cleaning schedule. But I know a lot of people find it very beneficial and very helpful to have a cleaning schedule. So for instance, when I did this, I had index cards, and I wrote on the index card Monday through Saturday. And on Monday, we do laundry. On Tuesday, we do sheets. On Wednesday, we vacuum. On Thursday, we mop. Whatever it is, however you want to put it in order. If you do that for the larger things that you have to do, the larger tasks that you have to accomplish, it will really help you get it done without being overwhelmed and trying to do it all in one day, or trying to do everything and being disorganized. It will really help you be more efficient in your home. My final tip for you is to have a company checklist. So what this means is when you have company come over, that you have a certain list of things that you go down to make sure they're done before your company arrives. Especially if it's unannounced company. If they call you 5 minutes before they're at your house and they're like, I'm going to be there in 5 minutes, I'm coming to see you, and you weren't expecting them, you can go down this list and make sure that all these boxes are checked so that your house looks presentable when people come over. My first one is I usually check the kitchen. If there's any dishes there, I try to get them out of the sink and just make sure that my kitchen looks tidy, that there's nothing sitting out on my counters or a bag of dog food on the floor. Then I'll move to the bathroom because the bathroom is very, very important. Very important. When it comes to company, you want to make sure that your bathroom is good. So I go and make sure the toilet's clean. I make sure there's toilet paper. I'll empty the trash if I need to empty the trash, and I will wipe down the sink and just make sure there are no gunky things or gunky toothpaste or anything like that on the sink, and make sure that looks straight. And the final thing that I do is I straighten up my living room and just pick anything up that doesn't belong there and take it to where it doesn't have to go where it belongs. It can go in your bedroom until the company leaves, but just make sure that it is out of the living room, out of the areas where your company is going to see it. And then the final thing you want to do is light those candles, because the candles will give it a clean smell, and it will also just give it a cozy, clean vibe for your guests when they come over. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you did find it helpful, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up. I plan to make another video on decluttering, all about how to declutter like a boss. So I hope you stay tuned for that. Thank you so much for joining Sweet Magnolias today. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.